Hello there, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. Today we're going to be watching and reacting to a Career247 video. Now, if you haven't been watching the channel, my channel specifically, not Career247 video channel, but if you haven't been watching my channel, I did take a somewhat long break, about a month-long break in September. Well, between like the middle of August and the middle of September. And I decided, I'm not going to be following as much geopolitics as I did before because it was becoming very overbearing. And it's not really what I wanted to do the YouTube channel about anyways. I did want to touch upon it because I do have an interest in it, but I was becoming way too hyper focused on it, and I feel like that was pushing away not only a lot of the people that watched prior, but it was making me feel very mentally unwell. Sometimes, you taking on so much negative information is kind of a bad thing. But that being said, I do still plan on touching it here and there, and this one stood out to me. Career247, NATO is lying. India exposes NATO chief over Putin Modi plan. So what the heck is this? NATO is lying. NATO's lying. In this video, PD Sir provides an in-depth analysis on India's strong response to NATO's misleading statement regarding the Putin-Modi diplomatic initiative. We explore how India has exposed the factual inaccuracies in NATO chief's recent claims and examine the broader implication of international relations. Now, I've been keeping up a little bit, but I actually kind of took a step away from social media as a whole. So I'm not wholly up to date with a lot of things, right? But I know, like recently, Zelensky came out in an interview and said that that Europe and NATO need to not push India away, but he did specify that India will eventually give up buying Russian oil. Like he specified that. So it's weird. Things are at a tipping point. I already think NATO's about to go to war with Russia anyways. With how many Article 4s they've been calling recently. It's it's all over the place. The US is going to go to war with NATO against Russia. US is also going to go to war against Venezuela because of all the drug trafficking and whatnot. Anyways, we haven't even got to the video yet. We're going to get into the video, guys. A link to the video will be in the description down below. Please go and take a look at it. Remember to like, comment, subscribe to my channel, and a link to my gaming channel, which I do upload and live stream to, is in the description as well. So let's get into this one, yeah?
नमस्कार, वेलकम टू करियर 247। मैं हूं प्रशांत धवन। नाउ
Welcome,
रिसेंटली
welcome.
एक बहुत ही ज्यादा अजीब सी चीज हुई है। इंडिया ने नेटो चीफ को बुरी तरीके से एक्सपोज कर दिया पुतिन मोदी प्लान स्टेटमेंट के इशू को लेकर। यहाँ पे आप देख पाओगे ये आर्टिकल, केयरलेस, अनएक्सेप्टेबल, एंटायरली बेसलेस।
Entirely baseless. India on NATO's chief's claim that Modi asked for Ukraine plan from Putin. Oh, wow. What the heck? What?
बिल्कुल यहाँ पर झूठ बोला जा रहा है।
Factually inaccurate, entirely baseless. India dismisses NATO Secretary General's Delhi now on phone with Putin claim. India on Friday responds sharply to NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte's claim that Prime Minister Modi asked Russian President Vladimir Putin to explain his strategy on Ukraine after the U.S. imposed tariff on India for buying Russian oil, saying that the statement was factually incorrect and entirely baseless.
है फैक्चुअली इनकरेक्ट और इंटायरली बेसलेस स्टेटमेंट्स दी जा रही हैं नेटो के सेक्रेटरी जनरल, मतलब नेटो के जो लीडर हैं यहाँ पे आज के समय, मार्क रुट द्वारा। ये बिल्कुल ही कहीं से भी कुछ भी स्टेटमेंट दे रहे हैं रिगार्डिंग व्लादिमीर पुतिन एंड नरेंद्र मोदी। अब यहाँ पे आप कहोगे इंडिया आज के समय ऐसा क्यों कह रहा है कि नेटो के चीफ ने रिसेंटली व्लादिमीर पुतिन और प्राइम मिनिस्टर मोदी के बारे में जो स्टेटमेंट दी है ये बिल्कुल गलत है। और हम लोग एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं कि नेटो जैसे इंस्टीट्यूशंस ग्रेटर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी के साथ स्टेटमेंट देना हो। हुआ यहाँ पर क्या, नेटो के चीफ ने रिसेंटली एक इंटरव्यू में ये बोल दिया कि ये तो देखो डोनाल्ड ट्रंप के टैरिफ का ही एक चमत्कार है कि पीएम मोदी ने व्लादिमीर पुतिन को फोन किया और रशिया के वॉर प्लान्स के बारे में पूछा, और रशिया ने बता भी दिया कि यूक्रेन को लेकर इनका वॉर प्लान क्या होने वाला है। अगेन बेसलेस स्टेटमेंट है, कोई ऐसा कुछ हुआ नहीं है। बट इनकी जो
Yeah, if I mean, that's basically the NATO leader saying that India plans on joining Russia against the war in the war against Ukraine. I mean, that's what I gather from that statement. Like he's basically accusing India of potentially joining the war effort. Like that's just a weird thing to say. Super weird thing to say.
जो स्टेटमेंट है नेटो के सेक्रेटरी जनरल की, ये देखिए ना, यहाँ पे आप देखोगे जर्नलिस्ट पूछेंगी कि ट्रंप सैंक्शन लगाने की बात करते हैं, फिर कहते हैं कि कोई डेडलाइन है, देखता हूं, और काफी यू टर्न लेते रहते हैं। तो ट्रंप के डिफेंस में अचानक से नेटो के चीफ आ गए और इन्होंने ट्रंप के डिफेंस में स्टेटमेंट देनी स्टार्ट कर दी।
Do you think that'll happen? Because President Trump has said that that's available, but he keeps having these rolling deadlines. Do you think finally he will put those sanctions on?
He already did. We have seen what
Well,
he
no,
did.
not the big ones.
The second
The Google Translate is terrible.
sanction, the big one on India.
Yes,
Well,
but I'm talking
sanction.
about on Russia.
Yeah, but this immediately impacts Russia because that means that Delhi is now on the phone with Vladimir Putin in Moscow and Narendra Modi asking me, hey, I support you, but again, could you explain to me the strategy? Because I have now been hit by these 50% tariffs by the United States. So
What a just weird thing to say. What? Let's listen to that again.
with Vladimir Putin in Moscow and Narendra Modi asking me, hey, I support you, but again, could you explain to me the strategy? Because I have now been hit by these 50% tariffs by the United States. So President Trump is implementing what he says. But of course, we are not happy that so far we have not been able collectively to end the war. And he is working on
And
it.
what do you...
What a just absolutely inflammatory thing to say. Do they just have no decorum? Do they not? Do they just not? Look, I am a novice when it comes to things of this nature, right? I'm no politician, but even I know saying something like this is just going to spark outrage. Like, okay.
ना इधर आप देखोगे इनका पूरा जो आंसर था ना, वो बस डोनाल्ड ट्रंप के डिफेंस में था। अब मैं एक्चुअली ये देख पा रहा हूँ
That wasn't in defense of Donald Trump. I think it was just an ignorant, stupid statement.
ट्रंप को सिर्फ वही लोग अच्छे लगते हैं, और काफी लोगों ने ये भी समझ लिया है कि डोनाल्ड ट्रंप से अगर फेवर निकालना है तो डोनाल्ड ट्रंप का यस मैन बन के रहो। ये जो है आज के समय मार्क रुट,
Is he a yes man to Donald Trump? Donald Trump hates NATO.
इनकी एक और वीडियो भी बड़ी फेमस है जहां पे डोनाल्ड ट्रंप को ये डैडी बोल रहे थे, नेटो का चीफ यूएस प्रेसिडेंट को डैडी बोल
Oh,
रहा
I
है। और
remember that. I
डोनाल्ड
actually
ट्रंप ने
remember
भी इस
that.
बात को काफी मेंशन किया था कि
But I think at the time there was a meme going around online about him being called daddy by a lot of different people. So I think he was just memeing. I don't think he actually did it as a thing to like say, all right, let's not get into like weird sexual fetishisms and okay. Anyways, we're going to keep going.
ही कॉल मी डैडी और परहैप्स ही इज द डैडी। और अगेन यहाँ पे ये एक एग्जांपल ये है। एक और एग्जांपल है पाकिस्तान के प्राइम मिनिस्टर शहबाज शरीफ। आपने शहबाज शरीफ का यूनाइटेड नेशंस में स्पीच सुना रिसेंटली, मतलब डोनाल्ड ट्रंप को समर्पित था। ये सुना यहाँ पर ये क्या बोलेंगे।
For peace helped avert a more threatening war in South Asia. Had he not intervened timely and decisively, the consequences of a full-fledged war would have been catastrophic. Who would have lived to tell what happened? And therefore, in recognition of President Trump's wonderful and outstanding contribution to promote peace in our part of the world, Pakistan nominated him for Nobel Peace Prize. And I think this is the least we could do for his love for peace. And I think truly he's a man of peace.
This is a lot of countries have actually nominated Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize, which is very odd, but it's what he's pushing for, I guess, and he's getting the responses he wants from these people. So there's that.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're all...
ना आपने यहाँ पर सुना,
I did see. Is this the Pakistanis? No, yeah, Pakistan right here. Okay. I did see a clip of where all the UN members left before Netanyahu came out and talked, and I thought that was a bit disrespectful. Even if you don't like the person, you should at least sit there and, I mean, the people, these are supposed to be the leaders of the world, and they're out here acting like children. They're out here, saying inflammatory things like Mark Rutte did with about India. Like, what's going on? Are all of our countries are all of these countries just led by actual children? It's crazy.
बिल्कुल ही ये डोनाल्ड ट्रंप की मतलब तारीफ कर रहे हैं कि बिल्कुल नोबेल प्राइज़ के लिए उनको हम सम्मानित करते हैं। अगर ट्रंप ना होते तो पता नहीं ऐसी वॉर हो जाती इंडिया पाकिस्तान के बीच में। उस वॉर के बाद पता नहीं क्या होता। जबकि इनके खुद के
Well, if the U.S. didn't try to intervene, I think Pakistan would be a lot smaller today. Balochistan would be its own state. It'd probably be the newest state, the newest country in the world, right? And yeah, I think a lot of India's troubles wouldn't be a lot of future Indian troubles wouldn't be a thing currently. But of course, the U.S. stepped in, and again, it wasn't even Donald Trump. Like, if we go back and look at it, for whatever it's worth, Marco Rubio and J.D. Vance did go. They didn't go physically go, but they did talk Pakistan into wanting to do a negotiation, right? Donald Trump didn't have anything to do with it anyways, but he still took credit, even though he didn't have anything to do with any talks whatsoever. See, this is what I'm talking about. Everything, all the negativity builds up, man. It's so frustrating. Anyways, we'll just keep going.
जो डेप्यूटी पीएम है, इन्होंने रिसेंटली स्टेटमेंट दी थी कि इंडिया ने किसी और कंट्री की इंटरवेंशन से मना कर दिया था ऑपरेशन सिंदूर के दौरान। कोई भी और कंट्री ने यहाँ पे इंटरवेंशन नहीं करी थी। फोन वगैरह आ रहे थे, ऑब्वियसली यूरोप की तरफ से भी फोन आ रहे थे, बाकी किसी ने इंटरवीन नहीं किया। बट बात यहाँ पे आ रही है डोनाल्ड ट्रंप को खुश करने की। डोनाल्ड ट्रंप, आपको यहाँ पे समझना होगा, ही इज अनलाइक एनी यूएस प्रेसिडेंट सो फार। अब मैंने आपको ये शहबाज शरीफ का केस बताया, अब मैं आपको बताता हूँ जिमी किमेल के बारे में। हो सकता है कि आपने कभी ना कभी
Okay, hold on. This whole Jimmy Kimmel shit, I just want to get up in front of it. It wasn't the FCC that disbarred Jimmy Kimmel. It was ABC themselves. When they received complaints, Donald Trump had nothing to do with it. The U.S. government had nothing to do with it. I'm just going to get up in front of that right now, because a lot of misinformation spreading about this bullshit right here. All right. Anyways.
यूट्यूब के किसी थंबनेल पर इस व्यक्ति की फोटो देखी होगी। यूट्यूब काफी प्रमोट करता है अपने एल्गोरिथम से इनकी वीडियोस। जिमी किमेल है ये, लेट नाइट शो को एक होस्ट करते हैं, स्टैंड अप कॉमेडियन थे अब आज के समय। इज अ फेमस पर्सनालिटी इन यूएस।
Not really. He's not even really that famous. His videos got less than 200,000. Like when he was on his late night show, it got less than 200,000 views per, episode. Less than 200,000 views. This video right here, that's 6 hours old, for double the views that Jimmy Kimmel got. He's not that famous. And again, I just want to preference this. Trump had nothing to do with the firing of Jimmy Kimmel. All right? Just preferencing that right now.
चार्ली कर्क को लेकर एक स्टेटमेंट दी अपने एक मोनोलॉग के दौरान। कुछ खराब नहीं बोला ज्यादा, बस एक पॉलिटिकल स्टेटमेंट दी जो यूएसए में बहुत आम होती है, बहुत कॉमन होती है।
Well, he was spreading disinformation. He was spreading disinformation. He was in the monologue. He was blaming Trump supporters for the death of Charlie Kirk. He was saying that the assassin, the crazed left wing assassin, was a rabid MAGA Trump supporter that killed him.
एक पॉलिटिकल स्टेटमेंट दी जो यूएसए में बहुत आम होती है, बहुत कॉमन होती है। डोनाल्ड ट्रंप को इतना गुस्सा है कि बताया जा रहा है ट्रंप ने अपना इन्फ्लुएंस इस्तेमाल करके
this is false. This is straight up wrong.
तो नेटवर्क के बॉसेस हैं,
This is wrong.
उन पर प्रेशर डाला और नेटवर्क के बॉसेस डर गए।
This is wrong. This is misinformation.
और इंटरनली ये डिसाइड किया गया कि जिमी किमेल का जो शो है ये सस्पेंड कर दिया जाएगा।
No, this is misinformation. That I'm gonna say it again. Like, I don't want to defend Donald Trump because there's a lot of negative things about him, but I will in this instance. He didn't get Jimmy Kimmel fired.
के लिए एक काफी शॉकिंग डेवलपमेंट थी, इसलिए आप देखोगे जिमी किमेल आज के समय कह रहे हैं कि ट्रंप ने जो थ्रेट दिए हैं इनको साइलेंस करने के, ये एंटी अमेरिकन है। यूएस में इस तरीके से कि मैं
You know what's anti-American? You know what's anti-American? YouTube just recently came out and said that under the Biden administration, they banned thousands of conservative accounts, and it was pushed by the Biden administration. So Biden, the directly from the government, directly from the White House, pushed to block and ban conservative voices on YouTube between 2020 and 2024. That's why so many people left to like places like Rumble and Kick and what other, alternate YouTube sites there are, is because they got banned off of it because of YouTube. And thus being banned because of the Biden administration. This, Jimmy Kimmel getting fired, had nothing to do with Donald Trump.
मैं एम्परर हूं, मैं बॉस हूं, सब मेरी सुनोगे। कोई मेरे अगेंस्ट बोलेगा, चाहे कोई कॉमेडियन भी क्यों ना हो, सीधा आई विल साइलेंस हिम, बिल्कुल उसका शो ही नेटवर्क से हटा दिया जाएगा। सो
This did not happen. This is false.
वेरी यूनिक। डोनाल्ड ट्रंप क्लियरली खुद को देख रहे हैं एज द मोस्ट पावरफुल अमेरिकन प्रेसिडेंट एवर, जो कुछ भी कर सकता है। जिमी किमेल वाला जो एपिसोड है,
And I find it a little ironic that he's saying this when this is known to happen in India as well. I've seen many places where people have been silenced or fined because of what they say is too anti-government or whatnot. But this did not happen in the U.S.
अगेन इसके बारे में मैं ज़्यादा डिटेल में नहीं जाऊंगा क्योंकि इसमें काफ़ी अमेरिकन पॉलिटिक्स के बारे में बात करनी पड़ेगी, मगर आप यही से समझ सकते हैं कि जिमी किमेल जैसी फेमस पर्सनालिटी को डोनाल्ड ट्रंप
He did not try to suppress a famous personality. Jimmy Kimmel's bosses try to suppress his personality.
ने बिल्कुल दबाने की कोशिश करी, और जब जिमी किमेल वापस आ गए, ट्रंप ने ट्वीट भी करी कि मैं बहुत डिसअपॉइंटेड हूं कि ये वापस आ चुका है, और आई वुडंट बी सरप्राइज्ड।
Wow, look at that. Oh, wow. The president must not have that much power if he got him fired, but then he got back. He came back. Whoa. That's, yeah, he's totally silencing free speech there, guys.
कि ट्रंप अपने बाकी के टेन्योर में कोई भी इनका जो आलोचक है उसको बिल्कुल डिस्ट्रॉय करने की कोशिश करेंगे कि वो नेटवर्क से ही ऑल टुगेदर गायब हो जाए। और जब पावर में कोई
No, he wouldn't. He even okay, so even I doubt he shows it here. But in his recent talk to the press, I think it was Thursday. I don't know what day is it. What day is it today? It's the 26th, Friday the 26th. Thursday the 25th. He was during his talk to the press after signing that TikTok is being bought by the USA. A member of the press asked him, is he going to censor TikTok? He came out and said he loves that the MAGA voice is spread out, right? He kept reiterating that he loves MAGA voice. He loves, the fact that, there's good talks about him on TikTok. But he then clarified that no, he's not going to censor anybody, and that he thinks and wants there to be conversations on all sides. If he was some tyrannical dictator, as soon as a U.S. government bought TikTok, he would do what Biden did with YouTube, right?
ऐसा आदमी होना जिसको अपने बारे में कुछ भी क्रिटिसिज्म सुनने का कोई शौक नहीं है, उसको सिर्फ ये चाहिए कि सब लोग मेरी तारीफ करें, ये बोले कि हाँ मैंने सही किया है, तो फिर यही होगा। आसपास के जो भी बड़े लोग हैं जिनको अपनी कुर्सी बचानी है, जिनको फ़ायदा चाहिए, जिनको ट्रंप से या फिर यूएस से काम निकलवाना है, वो ट्रंप की स्टेटमेंट को जस्टिफाई करने के चक्कर में भारत जैसे
This is weird. Yeah, I completely forgot that this was all about this NATO chief saying this weird inflammatory statement. Like, okay.
कंट्रीज के लिए प्रॉब्लम खड़ी कर देंगे। अब नेटो के चीफ है, मैंने आपको दिखाया उस क्लिप में, इन्होंने खुद ही इंडिया का मेंशन करना स्टार्ट कर दिया डोनाल्ड ट्रंप को डिफेंड करने के लिए, क्योंकि रिपोर्टर सवाल ये पूछ रही थी कि डोनाल्ड ट्रंप फ्लिप फ्लॉप बहुत करते हैं, आज बोलेंगे कि मैं लगाऊंगा सैंक्शन, फिर कहते हैं नहीं कोई डेडलाइन है, फिर ये है वो है वगैरह। सो दिस इज गोइंग टू हैपन अ लॉट। ये बहुत कुछ होगा। जो स्पाइनलेस कंट्रीज है, पाकिस्तान जो बिल्कुल आप कह लीजिए झुक चुकी हैं, दे आर कंप्लीटली डिपेंडेंट ऑन यूएस, उनकी तरफ से ऐसी स्टेटमेंट आए कि डोनाल्ड ट्रंप महान, डोनाल्ड ट्रंप को नोबेल प्राइज दो और वो तो कमाल के मतलब प्रेसिडेंट है। नेटो पे भी जो लोग काफ़ी हद तक डिपेंड करते हैं यूएसए पे, वो बेसलेस कमेंट्स करेंगे, मतलब लिटरली कई चीज़ें जो हुई नहीं है वो मेंशन करना स्टार्ट कर देंगे। एंड दिस इज़ वेरी सैड। इससे देखिए अल्टीमेटली नुकसान पहुंचता है क्रेडिबिलिटी को, ट्रुथ को, और इंडिया के लिए यहाँ पे इंपॉर्टेंट ये है कि हम समझें कि आज के समय किस टाइप के यूएस प्रेसिडेंट से इंडिया डील कर रहा है। एक ऐसा आदमी जो कंप्लीटली एक मैग्लोमेनियक है, उसे बस अपने
I thought this was a video on the NATO chief. He's just deflecting and blaming Trump. That's very weird.
इमेज की परवाह है, और इंडिया ऑलरेडी डोनाल्ड ट्रंप की बैड बुक्स में आ चुका है, क्योंकि हमने खुल के कह दिया था कि कोई डोनाल्ड ट्रंप ने रोल प्ले नहीं किया सीज फायर करवाने में। डोनाल्ड ट्रंप इस बात को लेकर काफी गुस्सा है, और इंडिया की स्टेटमेंट बहुत ज़्यादा मैटर करती है। चाहे शहबाज शरीफ वगैरह सब कोई कुछ भी बोल दे, सब लोग जानते हैं, एवरीवन नोज शहबाज शरीफ जो भी स्टेटमेंट दे रहे हैं उसके पीछे रीजन क्या है, ये क्या करना चाहते हैं। तो डोनाल्ड ट्रंप को मोस्ट प्रोबेबली नोबेल प्राइज नहीं मिलने वाला ऐसी स्टेटमेंट्स के दम पर।
No, he
बट
probably
ये
won't. He probably won't get the Nobel Prize. And again, a lot of different countries have come out and said, they'd support him. Like I think Cambodia said it. The whole Azerbaijan stuff. Those two countries said they'd do it. Like a couple people, like a couple world leaders have come out and said, "Oh, we're going to nominate Donald Trump for the Nobel Prize," but he's never going to get it. Do I think he deserves it? No, I really don't think he deserves it. And I think it's just very weird. I don't know.
बहुत ज्यादा एक अजीब से दौर में हम जी रहे हैं, जहां पर लिटरली झूठ बोलकर, फॉल्स स्टेटमेंट्स देकर दुनिया के परहैप्स सबसे पावरफुल कंट्री के प्रेसिडेंट को अपीज किया जा रहा है। तो उम्मीद करता हूं कि इस टॉपिक को लेकर आपको क्लैरिटी मिल गई
I
हो।
didn't get any clarity regarding the topic because you didn't really talk about the topic. You talked about Donald Trump instead of this guy, Rutte. You spent the whole time talking about Donald Trump instead of him. So no, I didn't actually get any clarity in this video. So there's that. But you know what? Does he still have the PD-10? Let's see. Yep, PD-10, everyone. Use code PD-10 for his data science, machine learning, generative AI course. So yeah. All right. Well, thank you for watching. I'll catch you on the next one, yeah? Remember to go and check out Career247. The video link will be in the description down below. And I will have to go and try to learn a little bit more about Mark Rutte, I believe. Because, this statement, let's just listen to the statement again. Let's just listen to him say this again.
Do you think finally he will put those sanctions on?
He already did. We have seen what
Well,
he
no,
did.
not the big ones.
The
that are
secondary
prepared in-
sanction, the big one on India.
Yes,
The
but
secondary
I'm talking about
sanction.
on Russia.
Yeah, but this immediately impacts Russia because that means that Delhi is now on the phone with Vladimir Putin in Moscow and Narendra Modi asking me, hey, I support you, but again, could you explain to me this strategy? Because I have now been hit by these 50% tariffs by the United States. So President Trump is...
Like, it's so weird that he would say that about India. Like, unless, I don't know, they truly believe that India is joining Russia in the war effort or something. I don't know. It's just a weird thing to say. Like, why? Just why? Ignorant and stupid Mark Rutte, I guess. All right, I'm going. Geopolitics, man. Take care, goodbye.